Yes, good morning. It is Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. I want to bring to your attention this morning quickly a comment that I read when I woke up, and I kind of chuckled here. This fella here says if you take your subscription price from 300 to 30, he'd be more popular. Better yet, give it out for free. That's a little silly, but this does matter as far as the subscription price, both for the person offering the service, because you have to price this thing properly, but also the person paying it. So you, the subscriber, the potential subscriber, what are you getting out of this? Because you don't give a shit about anything else other than what you're getting out of this. And people need to understand that's the way it is. That's the way it should be. So what are you really getting out of this clown's service? I've told you before, he does not have a portfolio. He comes out here and does daily videos. He wants it both ways. See, I told you so. Who knows what's going on? You have no idea if this guy, because he's talking about gold and silver here, you have no idea. You have no idea because he's been talking gold down for the last few weeks now. Finally broke yesterday, and he suggested it would bounce today. So far, not, but that doesn't really matter. The question is, did he have gold in his portfolio? What was the percentage of his portfolio in gold? Is he adding now? I mean, he said it was going to bounce. Is he holding, adding? Is he going to cut it off? I mean, at some point, if he thought this thing was going to pull back, if he had gold, he'd have to sell it, right? Are you ever going to know? No, because he doesn't say it. Because he doesn't give anything like this in a portfolio. So this fella here, taking your subscription price to 300 to 30, well, I suggest to you that 30 is $30 too much. Because anything you're going to get out of this guy, he gives it to you daily for free. And anything that you're going to pay for, these multiple emails a day. Of course, this guy is long-term, but he's sending out multiple emails a day, giving at least one YouTube video every day. Sometimes he'll skip a day. So this is all long-term thinking, correct? This is how long-term thinkers think, right? Right? Sure. That's right. And then when something happens today that he just told you that maybe you could have done maybe yesterday, it's the I told you so video right away, because this is how truly long-term thinking is. The fact of the matter is, let's look at Mike Doggy's reply here. It should be $2,000 a month, not $195. So evidently it's not $300, it's $195. And then he comes out here and says all this funny shit, like you're going to pay your annual income annually for this guy's service. Really, what would you ever get out of this that's worth a fuck that you can't get for free? By the way, none of it's worth a fuck anyways, so it is completely valueless from the outset. But if you think there's any value, anything you're going to get out of it, you're getting it out of this guy for free anyways, because he's out here making daily videos. But the reality is he's not going to provide and has never provided any evidence that this guy is anything more than, yes, you can speak it now, you can say it now, you can recite it. Anything better than a buy and holder with an excess amount of negative baggage. That's all this guy is. That's all he is. But it really comes down to, do you think paying $195 a month you'd make for sure your money back? How would you know? Because this guy randomly would make a trade that he swears Mike called, and this guy may make the opposite trade, and this guy might not have had that position at all. All right? What is that evidence of? This guy's not giving you any concrete guidance, any concrete trading. Now contrast that with, well, let's talk about it. My Patreon service. My Patreon service gives you direct ins, direct outs. I give you position sizing, X percentage of your account. You get the whole gamut. Minus slippage and next to zero commissions these days, you will make the exact same return as I will. And you will have exactly in your account what I have in my account. And the memberships here, it's all the same membership, just slightly more hedged, the one on the right than the left. Choose your poison. US dollar equated, $115 a month. And by the way, have I mentioned if you just join for free, your best commodity play right now, October 13th, Patreon member free exclusive. I give out better information, exacting calls. Exactly. You find this stuff here, exact. Because this wishy-washy, some of this, some of that, percentage, nowhere to be seen. That is not how you run a portfolio. Not for real. That's why even for $30, it's $30 overpriced. On the other hand, $115 US. I suggest to you, you will be able to recoup your costs and then some. If you don't agree with me, my email is right down here. You email me. You tell me what you want to spend a month, and we will come to some agreement. How about that? Because that's what I'm about. Making money for myself, for my subscribers. That's all I am about. And I would not be as irresponsible as this guy and all these other freaking clowns with their vague, as to quote Two-Tick Nick, hunches and feelings and comments here and there that are never followed up on. That's not how a portfolio is run, son. I don't run my service like that. So if you think $115 a month US is too much, you contact me at the previous email that I just showed, and maybe we'll come to a deal. But remember, at $195 for random bullshit is completely worthless. Not to mention, it should be $2,000 a month. Give me a break. So I just thought I would point out just the complete contrast between the delusional Manic Mike Norman trading and his ridiculous ideas of what he thinks his service is worth, compared to actual services that you can track and you can verify completely. So when I make my end of month posts updating my YouTube subscribers on what we've done for the month and cumulatively for the year, you know that's right as a subscriber because you have that exacting details. Now already, had you just joined for free, you were getting good enough information here that I could help you out of whatever positions you may or may not be in. Remember, I'm not cannibalizing my Patreon service, but I can help people out that did join for free with general recommendations. And I say general recommendations. I give exact recommendations on securities that are specific. But as a general recommendation, whether you own it or not, you're absolutely going to get the gist of what I'm thinking right now. And I'll wrap this video up here. That'll be it for me. I just wanted to highlight this morning, just something that I saw, a conversation here that just made me laugh. Delusional Mike Norman and his bullshit service. It takes all kinds.